counsel. Such a great way. There's one I think tomorrow, day after on data, and how that can be used effectively. So a lot of
Amazing.
interesting things. So I'm looking forward to learning a lot more.
That's brilliant. I really appreciate you giving us your time as well here to chat. Rami, just we'll have a few more light-hearted questions maybe before you head off to that sustainable chat. Is there so if you Ramya could go back to you as an 18-year-old, what would be the one piece of advice that you would give yourself?
Oh my God, that is really tough. But I would say, that I should have tried. See, when I was 18, honestly, I wanted to do law. At the time, my parents really kind of struck it down because our only opinion of law, or in exposure to law at that time was through TV shows, and my parents thought it was the scariest profession in the world. They just thought it was criminal law. They were like, you can't do that. And it never struck me to just, we took in our generation, we just took our parents' word, as like, the word, and they had all the power. And I didn't even try to convince them. So I think maybe, and who knows, that might have not, I would have still probably ended up in the same place after doing law instead of finance. But I would have said, try a little harder to convince others, if you really believe in something, so that would be my advice to my younger self.
Amazing, amazing. So, what do you think, Ramya, is the best invention of the last century, the last 100 years? What do you think is the best invention? Anything?
That's really hard. I want to say internet, but lately, I mean, after watching The Social Dilemma, I'm like, I don't know if that's true anymore. No, but I really do think. I mean, see, I was a software engineer for 8 years, and even though I left the field, I mean, I feel like technology by far in all its shape and form has been the most. And not to say it doesn't come with significant downsides, but I think there will be a period of because it's seen such exponential growth over the last 2 decades. There will be a sort of tumultuous period before we all settle down and learn to integrate it better without completely losing ourselves in it. But to me, I think just look at the amount of access. I mean, I'm assuming you're sitting somewhere in UK or
Yeah, in
US
London.
somewhere,
Yeah,
and like we're able to talk like this, right? I mean, I'm able to connect with cousins, and my brother lives in a different country, and it's just made it so easy on so many levels. And it's just up to us now to find a way to use it better, right? To not let it rule us, but to
yeah.
help make us so better in general, right?
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's like when you think like a festival like this, where you're connecting with all the people that you can connect with. Nobody who couldn't travel, is left out because everybody is here who wants to be here. So yeah, it's amazing. I think for maybe education in that way as well, just access. And when I see like
Yeah,
young people who are sort of interacting,
exactly.
yeah, no, it's amazing.
No, exactly. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I got so excited because one of the things I always tell people is look at the amount of access we have, right? We are a relatively new school, and normally in a typical year we would have maybe like 7 or 8 university visits. But we've now been able to reach out to universities which we would have never been able to otherwise, and kids are able to take summer camps going on in the US without actually having to leave their house. It's so despite all the downsides, I think that the level of access we have to opportunities has just increased, multifold. And hopefully it'll stay, at least the good parts of it will stay post-pandemic,
Yeah, and
right?
have you noticed? I think people are more comfortable maybe seeing themselves on screen now than 8 months ago because they've got so used to it in a sense as well. So it's
Yeah,
not as
no, for
distracting.
sure, for sure.
Oh, well, listen, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Rami, for talking to us today. I am looking forward to seeing the dance moves at the party on Friday.
Yeah. And I will just firstly, I have proper clothes on. I'm not wearing pajama bottoms. I'm ready for I don't
Oh.
stand up to do stuff.
Yeah, well, I think this week is
But
his.
I think, sorry, Rashi had a question
Oh,
about
sorry.
working
Yeah,
for the disabled.
yeah.
So Rashi, actually, I don't know, this was a very local thing. So we have the specific thing that I worked with was an organization called LV Prasad Eye Institute, and they focus specifically on visually disabled youth. So for 2 years, I taught those students both spoken English as well as personality development, and part of which was basically, resumes and interviews, those kind of things. It was part of a larger establishment because the course that I was part of also offered them special software. There's a special software called JAWS that they use to get comfortable with working on the computer. So part of the larger group's efforts were also teaching visually disabled people how to use the computer, how to use the internet, how to do internet banking, how to do online shopping and things like that. So there must be NGOs in in your region or in your city which do for different kinds of disabled. And actually, I think for other disabilities it's actually easier. Visual disability usually tends to be the most challenging, really. Uh, but a lot of big companies, and there used to be a lot of opportunities, especially at call centers for the visually disabled to become call center employees. So that was one big channel. And then for the ones who were kind of not as educated, we used to place them as stackers at grocery stores and things like that, or even like here in Hyderabad, we have this restaurant called Dialogue in the Dark, and the whole USP of it is that all the employees are blind, and it's a completely dark restaurant, and you go there and you eat in the dark. So a lot of waiters and stuff there are visually challenged folks. So
That's
that was
incredible.
my experience with that.
That is
Yeah, yeah.
incredible.
No, and the organization is great. I mean, they have world class research as well. They get interns from all over the world who come who are doctors. There's a medical facility and a rehabilitation facility. But yeah, I think you can reach out to some of the NGOs in your city.
Oh, that's
Sorry, I think I've
amazing.
taken a long
Thank
time.
you. No,
But
no, no. Really, that's really kind of you. Thank you, Ramya. I hope that answers, Rashi, that for you there. I don't know if anybody else had any questions, just in case uh, um, that I missed. I don't think so. Before we wrap it up, Rami, I have to ask you one last question that I like to ask for a bit of fun. So you're at a fundraiser today, and somebody tells you that they've just deposited £1 million or the equivalent in ripples into your account. You've got a mobile phone with internet and 3 minutes to spend it. What do you buy?
oh my god, oh, I don't even know. I mean, I'm not a big, I like the maximum I do is like sari shopping. I love textiles and fabrics, but I don't know. You can't spend $1 million on it. I
It
buy
feels
real
like
estate,
it.
I guess. I don't know.
That
I
feels
don't
like a
like
good.
cars. I don't drive. Like I don't know. The only thing that I kind of like doing is maybe looking at homes online. So I would buy real estate.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yes,
Oh,
that's my thing.
oh.
Maybe in like Europe,
Yeah,
possibly like
yeah.
somewhere very exotic.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's what I do. That's totally what I've been to Italy a couple of times because my husband doesn't seem to want to go anywhere else, and that's what I do. I buy a nice Tuscan villa, like in the middle of those beautiful,
Yeah.
vineyards.
I'm very
So,
impressed. Like, within a minute, you got there. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah, that was easy. Yeah, and I have to set aside enough money to maintain the damn thing because consular doesn't get paid a whole lot.
Oh, but listen, I mean, your passion and commitment is
So
amazing, and
much fun. You've given me something to dream about
yes,
now.
yes. But listen, your passion and commitment is amazing. Everybody who has spoken to us about you just speaks in such glowing terms, which I think speaks for itself. So that's amazing, and keep doing your amazing
Oh,
work
thank you.
and
Very
inspiring
sweet.
everybody.
It
Um,
was lovely chatting with you as well, and nice to meet a few people here. And
yeah,
I would love to hear their stories as well. So please come, for whoever is listening, please do come and tap me on the shoulder, and we can chat. And if you want to get involved with IC3, I'm more than happy to talk about my IC3 volunteer experience as well. So please come find me, and
yeah.
I'll talk to you then.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ramya, and thank you everybody for joining. And yeah, write
All
any
right.
messages there, and look forward to seeing you all during the festival. Thank you, Ramya.